Is it good for women to get married when
No,
70% of
you're
the
not
time
answering.
it's their spouse that kills them?
You're not answering. Is it good for women
Your question is invalid.
No, it's that invalid. You don't even know what invalid means. When you put a woman into a higher risk position to be abused, is that good or bad?
Who is the abuser? Who's abusing her?
Any abuser. Is it good?
Who's the abuser? Well, it depends. Who's the one abusing me? That's all depends.
Good or bad?
Is it women that are abusing women?
Women do actually.
Is it women that are going there to those sex workers? Who's going to those sex workers?
Well, actually, lesbian relationships actually.
No. Let's not talk about lesbians.
Stop yelling. Stop yelling. Stop yelling. This is why you can't. This is why you can't.
Don't tell me what to do.
Power. Stop the shrill yelling, okay?
No, because you're talking over me.
You're yelling.
Yeah, because you're talking over me. You're not letting me finish my sentence. You throw one question, I'm trying to answer that. You throw another question.
Okay.
It's like, well,
so why do men have an obligation to stop women from being harmed then?
Because men know they're the predators. So they know that our women are going outside. Another man is going to attack because they know their nature. They know they're violent creatures.
Wait. Why is it good men? Why is it the obligation of good men to stop women from being abused by bad men?
Like I told you, because they know their own nature.
Why is it an obligation?
It's an obligation. It's any human being's obligation. Oh, really? What are you talking about? It's not men or women.
Oh, so you have an obligation now?
Yeah, if I see somebody getting hurt or something, as a human being, I'm going to react to it. It doesn't have to be a man or a woman.
Okay, cool.
It's like the same how men
you're yelling again.
We go ahead, finish your point.
So if someone a big guy, huge guy is attacking a small woman and you pass by, is it your obligation to physically try to fight him, or are you going to do something else?
Well, I will try, and if I can't, if it depends on where I am. If I have a gun, if I have a pepper spray or something else, I will try to use that. If not, then of course I'm going to call the cops. Right? It is my duty, obligation to do something about that situation than just.
What if the guy looked at you and was like, "You call the cops, bitch, and you're next"? You know, what if he does that? Are you going to still call the cops then? Or are you going to be like, okay, yeah, never mind, bye.
Walk past or start reporting them.
So what I want to highlight here is, as I established very early, that Mahleej, from her own perspective of women's liberty, she really, as a woman, has no real obligation as a woman in society other than to just like pursue her own self-interest, but included in the freedom and liberty to pursue her self-interests and her desires and to start an OnlyFans if she wanted and all this stuff. Embedded in it, entailed in the argument, is the obligation for men to defend those rights, right? So this is what's so bankrupt about your view and the entire feminist view, is that the statement, we ought to have X rights, privileges, freedoms, I get to do this, we get to do this, right? We're women, roar, hear me roar. And then when we go, well, who's going to enforce that if it's violated? Who enforces that you have that? And then they go, well, men, of course. And we go, why are we obligated to preserve a system in which you get to perpetually pursue your own wants and desires with no give back to society, no obligations to raise our children, no obligations to be in monogamous relationships, no obligations to anything, and yet you hold it in your very argument, you hold it that we men collectively have an obligation to protect the sim city that you're in so that you could go explore and write another Eat, Pray, Love shitty novel. You're a feeder. You're basically all basically you just bottom feeders. You're sucker fish. You don't provide anything back. And when we ask you what is your leverage and how are you going to use it responsibly, you say nothing, zero. You're silent. There's no virtue in your view at all.
Gee, well, all right. 41 minutes into the debate. And I think that's it, right? I think Jimbob said it all right there. I don't know how she could come back from that, but I'm sure she'll figure out a way. I've seen her other debates before. And I'm going to predict what she might say is she's going to say, typical man always yelling down at us women. You know, that's what you men do. That's what you men do. You guys just talk down on us, make us feel like nothing, and just typical man. That's why we need feminism. That's why feminism is a good thing. So that way we could get stupid men like you out of here.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Are you done?
Yeah.
No, you should be ashamed of yourself that you would
No.
use a human being to a vagina. Now, please don't interrupt me while I talk, because you had a lot of points to say up here. First of all, it was the sexualization that you men started. You men still control all of that. We have got a little bit of rights, okay? A little bit of rights. And even then, they're complaining, oh my God, even though you know that tomorrow, if you men wanted, you can round us all up
That's
and
right.
put us in a cage and rape us and have kids with us forcefully. You should be ashamed of
No,
yourself,
we could do that.
because you would want to do that.
No.
The only thing that is stopping is that we've been fighting for our rights, and we've got those
Fighting?
rights.
You don't fight.
laws.
When did you fight?
Yeah, exactly. What are you fighting for your rights? And it's so wild how she says, like, oh, we only got a little bit of rights. Like, what are you talking about, lady? You got all the rights. Women, I think, have more like opportunities than even men, because women are told they could do whatever they want. They could become girl bosses, they could become stay-at-home moms, they could become OF girls, whatever, you know. Men, we don't have that. It's like, no, you have duties. Women aren't given duties, and that's the whole problem here.
Hang on, I didn't interrupt you. I let
No, you
talk.
shrill. You shrill. You don't
let
fight.
Okay, you know what? You want to talk alone?
You shrill. You don't fight.
No,
you
you
don't.
want to
Men
talk
fight.
alone?
Men
Or
fight.
you
All right,
want to? You don't
let's-
have the tolerance to listen, do you? My God, you get triggered.
You don't fight. You complain and
No,
then ask
we are
men to
not
fight.
providing anything to society. We're not doing anything to this. But at the same time, the most important role, the most important thing, which is teaching kids, raising kids, that is going to define the next generation, is put on our shoulders.
That's
We're
right.
so stupid. We're so stupid. We can't be put in any leadership roles.
That's
We're
right.
so stupid. We can't be
That's right.
politicians.
That's right.
But we're not stupid enough to raise men like him.
That's right.
And
Why?
and we're so dumb that we still protect a person like him who falls off. How come you didn't burn to death or fall off a?
Because my mom was home to
Your
raise
mom
us.
wasn't stupid, right?
No,
But you think
no,
your mom's stupid if
no.
you put her outside for leadership.
No, because
That's what you're saying.
no. Listen,
Yes,
listen.
you are.
What's so great about these feminists is that, like, whenever you argue against them, their default is always the motherhood thing. Like, I'll never forget when it was Jimbob versus Not So Erudite, and Jimbob's like, yeah, what else can you guys do, really? And then she brings up, oh, we could do this, this, and that, and like, yeah, but men could do it but better. So what can you do? And then she's like, well, she then defaulted to like being a mother, like a stay-at-home mother and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's what we've been saying. That's our argument. It seems like Mahleej is going on the same route. Like, oh, what about as mothers? And it's like, yes, that's what we're saying.
Mom raised 5 kids at home.
Yeah, so a woman that can raise 5 kids, the responsibility of 5 kids, you're saying she's not good in leadership positions outside the house?
I said what leadership positions women are good at are proper to their nature. Would you agree?
No, there's a
No.
lot of different no. There's a lot of different professions women have proved that they
I didn't ask for exceptions. I said generally speaking.
No, we're
women,
not giving you exceptions. I'm telling
Yeah,
you
you
now,
are. Yeah, you
as
are.
we progress, because we were not allowed to, so you're not
No,
gonna see
that's
it
not true.
just
No.
spike up.
That's false.
Slowly and gradually you're
No.
seeing women in different places of leadership.
Mahleej, even opening up this idea that now you're free to pursue, I'm telling you that the statistics show once you open the gates and let women pursue whatever they want, they still end up in the same focused places of work and that are proper to their nature. Nursing, teaching, caretaking, extracurricular stuff with children, these kinds of things. Now, that's not a surprise to me. Why? Because I see women peculiar in their nature, beautiful in their nature, powerful, right? True power is being a mother. True power is raising the next generation and guiding the next generation. Faux power is abandoning that duty and abandoning that view and saying, we can do everything men can do. You know what you end up being? Just shitty men, just shitty versions of weaker men. tired,
Let's
old,
talk about women.
crying
Oh
into
my
your
God.
pillow with all the makeup running down, with cat hair on your cardigan, hoping and praying. You get invited somewhere. Maybe you'll maintain your youthfulness, but for no reason at all, because you're already freaking messed up the chance of being in a family. So you end up 50 years old, looking like Chelsea Handler. And is that good for society? Is Chelsea Handler good for society? No.
Society that men want to control. Of course, the thing what you see here right now, guys,
Who cares about
is
control?
when an oppressor is seeing that, oh my God, he's losing control, what does he do? He does like this. Oh, women, at the same time, he
I'm an
is saying,
oppressor?
now he changed his stance. Before he said that women are not good in leadership qualities. There's a lot of women that are
didn't say that.
politicians. There's a lot of women that are CEOs of companies.
Oh,
Okay, so
thank
don't
God.
just say that. Yeah, they are.
Oh,
And that's
what would we do
because-
without them? What would we do without those
God,
CEO
you get so
women?
triggered. Oh my goodness. The
no,
little boy's ego is getting hurt.
No, what would we do
Talk
without
about
them?
protection. Let's talk about protection. They keep talking about, oh, we need to protect these women. Let's move all these men away for a week to another town or something, and let us just flow around alone, women. Let's see if we need protection. We need protection because we know your gender has more tendency to violence, okay?
Yes,
More criminals are
Yeah,
men.
that's right.
Most rapists, actually, men rape men. You know what I mean? It's not
That's
women
right.
going around raping
Yeah.
men.
Yeah,
So-
I would actually like that experiment. We should send her and a whole bunch of women that think like her and make their own society. And let's see how that happens. Let's see how quick they do that.
You guys are committing most of the crimes,
Uh-huh.
robberies, murders, everything. So of course, you're on self. We need protection, and it's because you guys are roaming around free.
Yeah, why do we owe you?
Roaming
Government is
around
giving
free.
us protection, not you. You
They're
don't
men.
give me any protection. Men
They're
like
men.
you just sit behind the damn thing and
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, what about all the female teachers out there that are like having sex with their children? It seems like at least once a week, I read a news article about, this woman was arrested for diddling her student, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, no, it's not just limited to men, sweetie.
blah 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 blah.
Look,
You haven't contributed in the society. You
I haven't.
built
I
nothing,
made 3 kids. I
You
made 3
haven't
kids.
built nothing. You haven't built nothing. You haven't
What?
built no society. You're not
What?
giving it any progressive
How do you know
thoughts.
me? You don't know
You're
me.
not in politics.
You don't
You don't
know
know
me.
me.
Changes.
Bitch,
You
don't know my
you
life.
don't know me,
contribute in
bitch.
Society.
You don't know me,
You
bitch.
don't. Oh, there we go. We're gonna call down 2 names, and this is what happens when they get triggered.
No.
You
You're
created 3 kids. So
stop
what? Big
shrilling.
deal.
Stop shrilling.
Big
You don't
deal.
listen,
Don't
Mahleej.
call me a fucking bitch. Don't
I can call you whatever I want.
Because then I'm gonna act like one.
I
too.
have power over
Okay,
you.
don't act
All
like a
right,
little
I'm
soy
gonna
boy
jump in
here.
Look,
We just need to redirect back to the original point. So everyone take a breath. The world is going on just as usual. Cars are driving down the road. Everything is all right. Ready. Jumping back into the dialogue. You're both unmuted, or at least I've asked you to unmute.
Yeah, so I want to start with the protection thing again, where he's getting so triggered by this. Oh my God, all we're saying is that we don't want to be harassed. We just want to live. We don't want to be forced into having sex. We don't want to be forced into having kids. Why? We as human beings should be able to decide what we want, like men do it, and they have done for centuries.
you're yelling again. So I have a question. You admit that men have to protect you because other men are really bad, right?
Men don't protect me. It's the government that protects me now.
Made of
It's the
what?
police.
What is a government made of?
Both men and women.
Is it mostly men with brute force protecting people?
If you say maybe in the army, but no, there's
Look,
equal
lady,
women now.
lady, look, if a strong man, if you admit that it's men primarily who have the aggression and the strength, and they're the ones perpetrating the events, it's going to necessarily take an equal force to stop that aggressive man. That is likely the case most of the time, except for really strange exceptions, that's going to be a man. My question to you, Mahleej, still stands. Why do good men Why are they obligated to protect you?
They're not obligated. It is the rules and the law of society that tells them that it's their job to do it. Nobody's
Okay.
obligated,
Great,
right?
great.
It's the laws and rules that we have created. We've come together as a society.
Oh gosh, we come together as a society. Yeah, no, it's funny is that she just blew out her own point right there, because she's just, at one hand she's saying men are just allowed to do whatever we want. We have the choice to do all these things. But then she's saying, well, listen, there's the rules and laws of society that said men are obligated to do such and such. Oh, okay. So men do have duties, but what are women's duties? Women don't have any duties because they've been brainwashed by the feminist propaganda saying that they could do whatever they want. And if we try to tell them about their duties as a woman, oh, well, that's oppression. That's Handmaid's Tale. WR332, thank you very much for the $10 dono, brother. We tried that. Male and female group sent to island. Also, I know it's sexist, but male teens don't really complain that they can pull a hot college-age woman, which apparently teaches. Yeah, I don't think that matters, though. Just because a young man would love to bang an older woman doesn't mean that it's okay. If anything, that's actually worse, because it's like women are taking advantage of young men. You know, obviously, young men are going to be full of hormones. They want to kind of bang anything that walks. So obviously, yes, young men are going to want to have sex with women. That doesn't excuse the behavior, though. That's, if anything, it's women taking advantage of men. If there was a 14-year-old girl who was really slutty and loved sleeping with older men, would that still be wrong? Just because a girl consented, and when I mean this, I mean because they can't legally consent, but I mean if a young girl, a 14-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl is out sleeping with 30-year-old men or something like that, or 25-year-old men, 28-year-old men, would you say, well, that's okay? No, we wouldn't. So we shouldn't say that it's okay for a teenage boy to have sex with their teacher because, well, he wanted it.
And we've decided that as human beings, as human beings, slavery is no longer acceptable, right? We all, as a society, came together and decided on that. And that's where we decided as a society that we're going to have this one force that is going to protect, regardless of the point, me or a man. Because hang on a minute. If there's a break-in in my house, I'm going to call the cops. If there's a break-in in your house, you're also going to call the cops. Okay. And it doesn't matter if it's a cop that is a man or a woman that shows up there. We're not living in 1800s. Jimbob.
Yeah, you didn't demonstrate anything. The point is, men, from your view, have an obligation to society, but women don't.
No, I said we all have obligation to a good society, okay? And those obligations come in different forms and different ways.
What are
you are
women's?
only saying that we have one obligation, that is just to have kids and reproduce.
No,
yeah,
look, I'll go back to it, okay? If men's collective obligation is to protect society, including other men and women, if that's their obligation because of their nature, they are in the position that would be their obligation. Now, not all men, but men, it's going to be mostly men. If we agree that that's their obligation due to their nature, I'm asking you, what is a woman's obligation to society given her nature?
Like I told you again, it has nothing to do with man or woman. In a society, we have obligations towards each other in different ways. You just want me to say that my obligation is to pop out babies.
I don't want you to say anything. Just answer the question.
No. First,
answer the question.
I'm answering.
No, you're not. You're dodging the question.
Yeah. I'm not going to answer what you want me to answer.
I didn't tell you what I wanted. I asked you a question. If it's true that men, according to their nature, have an obligation because it suits their nature to protect and defend. Hold on. You admitted this already. Men, we both agree, men, based on their nature, brute force, stronger, more aggressive. Yes, because of their aggression and their strength, they commit more aggressive crimes. Because of their aggression and strength, they actually stop more crimes. So yes, we agree with that. Okay, cool. We put that on the side. We call that, in society, it's good for men to take on a position, an obligation to protect, right? To protect children and women and people who are weaker. Great. I agree. That obligation exists. I love that obligation exists. But the question I asked you, which you failed to answer, and for the audience, you can see you're dodging and running, is that if it's true that men, according to their nature, have an obligation to society to make it good, what's your obligation as a woman to make society good? What do you actually do to make society good? that you're obligated to do.
Again, I'm going to answer this. And this
Again.
happened with Andrew too. They want me to say that again. They want me to say, this is what Jimbob wants me to
Just
say. That
answer the
as a
fucking
woman,
question.
Let me fucking answer it. If you wish, shut up and not get so triggered as soon as I open my mouth. Holy God. As a society, we're not living in 1800s anymore. So as a society, men and women have obligations. What you want me or my opponent wants me to just say is that because men are obligated, I don't know who these men are that are obligated to protect us. There is no man that is obligated to protect me, not today. It is not my obligation to pop out babies, to, whatever, to the society or whatever. No, it is not my obligation.
Okay.
And I don't care how many times you ask me that question, my answer is going to be the same, that as a society, we came together, we decided we're going to have a police force, okay? Those are the people that are going to protect us.
Great.
You know what I mean? Hang on. Most of these cases, I see so many videos where women are getting groped, where women are getting attacked. Men they don't do shit, they just walk past by, or they will be recording it. So don't tell me that men, especially men these days, have you seen men these days? They're so weak. Have you seen?
And it's because of feminism why that's happened. Before we would have had men that stepped up, but now it's like you have this feminization of society where you taught them that masculinity is toxic and such. Well, now those men are gone. Now those men are gone, and women are like, we're girl bosses. We could take care of ourselves. Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. You could take care of yourself now. It's the Dave Chappelle line, chivalry is dead and women killed it.
Seen them?
When are you going to answer the question?
So many things. No, we have an obligation as a good human being to the society. If I see something happening bad, my obligation is to go stop or, contribute into that society that way. But not to just keep having babies.
Dude, listen, Mahleej.
That's not my obligation.
Mahleej, absent stopping a crime or tattletaling and telling the police something's happening, I'm asking you another question. Your normal, regular life, your existence, right? Your normal existence in the world. What is your obligation, right? Because if you hold that men now don't have an obligation to step in, you said no single man, singular, has an obligation to do anything in society to using their brute force. They don't have an obligation. They can. It's better if they do, basically, you're saying. Now, if it's the case that no man has the obligation to step in and do anything, then by your own admission, no man, singular or collective, have the obligation to defend your rights. Ruh-roh.
No, see, the thing is, we have come together as a society and we've created some laws, right? Do you believe that as a society we came together and made some laws, like human rights laws? Do you agree to that?
Yeah, we made laws.
Yes, no, human rights laws.
Human right laws? What
yes, like you can't keep slaves anymore. Can you keep slaves?
A human right law?
Can you keep a slave today?
Could you keep a slave today? No, slavery is illegal.
Okay, why is that?
Because we constructed an environment where if you commit this action, you'll go to jail, and so people don't do it.
So why is that though? Why?
Because men, because of men, not because of women.
No, because you're not getting my point. Is it okay to have a slave?
Is it okay to have a slave? Not from my world.
Is it moral? Is it morally okay to have a slave?
Not from my
as a slave.
Not from my worldview in this context, but there is a context where slavery could be the most ethical thing to do. Yeah, it's possible, but not in this context.
Sorry,
no.
You got frozen. Can you repeat again? Sorry, there was a glitch. So
I said, there is a context which is not the current time. There is a context where slavery, capturing someone against their will, could be the most moral thing for them. But today, no, I would say no. In this context, slavery wouldn't be the ethical thing at this point.
Okay, and how did we come to that decision?
Christian ethics.
Christian ethics? Christian ethics.
That's right.
Okay, but we decided.
She wasn't expecting that. She was like, Christian ethics. Yep. Oh. Whatever. All right. The point is, we all came together, okay?
That is morally wrong, right?
Yeah, we came to the conclusion it was
okay,
more,
so the same society got together and also decided that, yes, taking women as sex slaves is wrong, right?
Okay.
What?
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's your
Yeah,
point? If
human rights, right? Like as a human being,
human rights
I have
don't.
certain rights.
No, you don't.
As a human being,
No, you
okay,
don't.
as a human being, why
No, you
do I
don't.
not have rights? Why? You don't, I'm not a
Because
human being?
because a
What the hell is this woman talking about? She's all over the place. Now she's bringing up human rights, sex slavery. Who the hell is arguing in favor of sex slavery? Uh, it's just make a point, woman.
human being right now in Africa doesn't have the same rights as you.
I'm not in Africa though. I'm
Dude,
in a civilized country.
Listen
You're
closely.
telling me that
Stop
in Canada,
yelling.
I should live like I'm living in
Stop
Africa?
yelling. I'm trying to clarify something
Oh
to
my
teach
God.
your little brain, okay? You just said
Yeah,
as
my
a
little brain.
human being, that's a
Mhm.
universal, right? Human being?
No, as a human being in Canada,
Stop
do I have
yelling.
rights or no?
Yeah,
Do
now
I have rights or no?
now you're making a specific claim about where you are, which it goes to my point. Rights are privileges given by men, right?
Mm. It depends. It all depends on your morals, right? So for me, a person that is in Africa should have those rights as a human being. I would think that ethically and morally.
Cool. And
But
who's
you as a Christian,
You're
you
yelling.
think, oh no, that is like their problem in Africa, you know,
You're
it's
yelling.
selective. I might give this person rights
Okay.
and I might not give
Okay.
this person rights.
Oh my
Okay,
God,
Pick and
this lady.
choose.
Okay, look, if we agreed that they should have rights in Africa, right? If we who's got to grant it to them? Who has to go in and do that?
Who granted it to us here?
Men.
Yeah, so men, I guess, will have to grant it up
Okay.
there. It wasn't all
Okay.
men. Women
Yeah,
had to fight
listen.
for it.
Imagine, oh my gosh, she always goes back. Women had to fight for it. No, women didn't do the fighting. Women pretty much just, pretty much complained and were rarely outspoken. And then men were like, oh, okay. And I know there's a lot more to it, but just the short answer is that women were very vocal about it and they had to depend on men to do all the fighting on their behalf for it. That's really what happened. You know what I mean? So, but she always goes, well, women had to fight for it. But again, she went in this whole circle just to finally admit what Jimbob has been saying the whole time, that yes, men granted. At first she was like, no. But then they had to deal with this whole fucking argument just to be like, okay, well, yeah, I guess. But that's because women had to fight for it. And so now we're going to go back to no, women weren't it's not, women didn't fight for anything pretty much.
You
It
didn't
wasn't
fight.
all
You didn't
men.
fight at all. You
Yes,
whined
we
and
did.
complained. You didn't fight at all. You yelped and you shrilled in the street and made signs and you convinced
It
men.
worked, didn't it?
Yeah, well, at least you admit
No, you're
that's
yelling and screaming.
what now. Now you just admitted that you, if you were going to say we ought to give rights everywhere in all the lands in all the countries, you're also saying that someone has the obligation to make that happen. But the problem is the obligation to make that happen requires sometimes war, sometimes death, sometimes harm and aggression. And so you're relying, once again, the feminist says what she wants. What she brings to the table is what? Saying what she wants. Of course, if we didn't have feminists saying what they want, oh, by golly, how would we organize a society? And what they do after they say what they want, they expect a bunch of men to make it happen. That's called feminism.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm like saying that as civilized societies, we made some laws. We came to some understandings that people, human beings should be treated as humans, right?
Oh my gosh. Listen, this lady is still as annoying as ever. Still as annoying as ever, even if we grant her that yes, human beings came together and decided this law and that law. Well, again, what's going to stop us again? Let's say if we all came together and we're like, yeah, you know what? Let's take away women's rights. Oh, what is she going to do about it? What can she do about it? Nothing. She can't do anything. And just because a group of people came together and were like, we decided this, doesn't mean that it's right or what have you. But even so, no one's like these feminists who debate time and time again, especially Mahleej here. They have this picture that when we say women have duties, they hear Handmaid's Tale. We're going to chain them up to the stove. We're going to keep them in a cage. And that's what they hear when we say, hey, don't you guys have duties? Don't you guys think that you're better served as a mother, staying at home, raising the children? Don't you guys think that that's what your duties for as a woman in society? They hear, oh my gosh, you just want to enslave us. You want to put us in the cages. No, Handmaid's Tale. Like that's what they hear. And that's what this woman keeps equating it to. All Jimbob is saying that, there are duties that men and women have in society. Men are fulfilling those duties, women aren't. And this woman, like all these other freaking feminists, all they hear is, "Oh, you're trying to control me." And it's like, oh, brother, like, come on. Like, what is with these women? Like, what are with these feminists that's automatically what their mind goes to? Like, can't they just acknowledge and see that maybe they've been brainwashed by the modern day culture that teaches women that, no, actually, you guys are girl bosses and you can do whatever the hell you want and you don't need no man? I think that's the main source of the issue here with these feminists. But what do you guys think about this? Sound off in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy content like this. I got a whole bunch more on my channel. And also hit that like button, or else you're gay. Sorry, don't make the rules. And if you want to see the full debate, I have the link down in the description down below.